Hi guys, this is Chris with CodeChris.com. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, all that jazz. So let's talk about when you're applying for work, and this is actually more of a thing because I was applying for jobs, and one of the jobs that, I don't know, I would recommend if you can, when you're looking for jobs, definitely I think if you see something that says junior or entry level, go for it, right? I'm okay with the word entry level because that means you're new to the field, you're entry level, whatever. Junior developer specifically, once again, depends on the company. Everybody treats a junior developer differently. From what I've seen, from what I've gathered, and I don't know if this is accurate, but in the sense of a junior developer, you aren't always given as much responsibility or opportunity to actually work with as much of the code as you need to learn to get up your skill level, right? Being a junior dev, you think they would want to bring you up an extra notch versus an entry level developer. And once again, this is probably just all job title semantics. But anyways, if you do see a position and it is just developer, right? That's probably the best thing to apply for. And the reason why is because you're going to start working on stuff. Even if you have less experience, they're going to put you with somebody, or you're going to learn from the team about whatever. And obviously, they're going to know you have less experience. But I mean, I feel personally that the title of junior developer, and in some cases entry level developer, is just an opportunity for them to pay you less, or to justify paying you less, or to ultimately have you be more of an assistant role or do some busy work and not really mess with the code as much. So yeah, I mean, and the mindset of every company is a little bit different, but that's just one thing I want to throw out there because I was working as an entry level developer, but I definitely was not upping my skill as much at work as much as I wanted to, until more recently, where I've been given the opportunity to do some much more complicated advanced stuff, and really get my feet in there and learn and really start picking things up. But anyways, so if you are looking for a position, just kind of be aware of that, and maybe during the interview, be clear that you are looking to actually do work on projects. Once again, I don't know if this is entirely the case, but it's been my experience that and really as a developer, sometimes you do have to do things that are outside the scope of just the normal code. But how much of it, right? How much of your day consists of that? How much of the work coming in gets laid on you that isn't code? So that's a good question, and it's an opportunity to point out how you can be more valuable to the company, because that's the thing. If they're giving you busy work, right, or you're changing text, or you are updating articles, or that kind of stuff, you're not really learning anything. You're just the whole point of coming in as an entry level or a junior dev is so that you're in an environment where when you get challenges, you can learn from your peers, and you can build yourself up, and you can become a better developer. But I don't know if all places treat it quite like that. Once again, I have limited experience with this, but I've at least seen that in some cases that has been the case. So if you're when you want to get into this field, you want to get just the normal title, because I think, once again, it's a psychological thing where people think like, oh, you're a junior, that means you can't do certain things yet, which is true, but at the same time, you need to start being challenged with those things. That's why you're in the environment. You're in the environment where it's safe to go ahead and make those mistakes, to go ahead and learn, right? Being at a company for a duration of time, but not actually ever having those specific challenges, doesn't actually grow you. It keeps you stagnant, actually. So that's I think the thing, you know, to consider, and maybe bring up with the company if you are a junior dev or entry level dev and you feel that the work you're getting isn't challenging enough, that you need to be brought up to another level, that you need to if you can express to them that, hey, my skill set is here, and I understand I'm the new guy, I'm the junior, whatever, but I'm getting work that's way down here. Even I need to really start pushing myself and challenging myself. That's the thing. Your pay and everything is based off of the value you bring to the company. So if you bring the value of somebody, if they're only giving you stuff that isn't logic heavy, that isn't development heavy, that isn't complicated, that doesn't really push your bounds, then your value to them is relatively expendable, right? If you were to leave, any one of the other devs could do your job very quickly, right? Much faster. In fact, they don't even necessarily need somebody who's got a wealth of experience to do some of that stuff. So it's important that you communicate to them, to get those challenges, because your value to the company will be higher, and when your value to the company is higher, you can ask for more money. You're overall more valuable to them, and you are more valuable as a candidate. You can go elsewhere, or you can stay within the same company and make more, or whatever the case is, but it's about building value in yourself. You'll become more useful. You'll make more. All these things, and really, what it is that you have to bring it up to the company. Find out what their game plan is for you. Find out what their goal is for the role of the junior dev. Right? Is it something that's like, well, we're just, here's the kind of tasks you might get. And if there are tasks that aren't going to challenge you, aren't going to put some stuff on, because you're basically just kind of being a low-level assistant to a basic developer, you're not really going to grow. So, because that's, I mean, I definitely get going into the role so that you can grow and have experience. Because really, at the end of the day, if that's the case, really what you're doing is you're playing a waiting game where you have about a year or so before you can claim you have a year of experience. So that's really the case. Yeah. Anyways, those are just my thoughts on the idea, but I'd like to know yours. Are you a junior dev? Are you applying for spots as junior dev? There's nothing wrong with any of this stuff, but I think it's definitely something that is worth mentioning, so that people don't end up getting in a rut where you aren't bringing extra value, nor are you growing in value, and you're just becoming stagnant at your spot or the position that you're applying for, because you don't want all this work you do on the side, all this learning experience that you've been doing, to just grow and grow and grow and grow, and then once you finally get the job, you stop growing, you stop learning, at least on the job, because the hope is that on the job you'd be learning more, right? So anyways, if you are a junior dev or entry level or whatever the case is, let me know in the comments what your experience has been so far. Have you gotten the challenges that you're looking for? Has the work been good? Are you trying? Have you talked to your employment about getting more difficult tasks? If so, how did it go? Any of those thoughts, please comment and let me know, and we'll talk. Thank you for coming. Have a nice day.